The way we started off as a sausage processing facility. It was another family business's, Barczewski brothers. It was their business initially. That was in from the 40s all the way to into the 60s and up to 1980. My family was Delaware Provision Company, and they were strictly wholesalers. I mean, they bought and sold, to all small corner stores, all mom and pop shops. They didn't manufacture anything. They just bought and they sold. But Barczewski brothers, who they were known for their kielbasa and all that, was one of their distributors for some of their other clients. And the last brother, Herman Barczewski, he knew he was going to sell. So in 1980, Delaware Provision bought out Barczewski brothers. So we integrated the sausage processing aspect to our business as wholesalers. And then in the 90s, we got into catering. So we do a lot of food preparation for retail and such. I started in high school. I was 16 years old. Needed to get a car. Needed a job. After school job, weekend job, and just asked my uncle if there was any room for me. He said yes, and I have been there ever since. I would say it wasn't any particular event. It was just sort of working the job, because the job, it wasn't like reporting to an office. I mean, we could end up anywhere locally. We could end up in Chadds Ford, Jersey, downstate. And it was just exciting to go to different halls, different venues, or even in some cases, people's homes. Just dropping off and just seeing the pleasure and providing the product. And I did a lot of observing, watching my uncle since I was, following him. And just the handshakes, the smiles, the delight of everything coming from the customers. I was just sort of living that, and knowing that at some point, he was going to have to, reach his end. He just sort of approached me with it. Is this something that you would want to do? And just living it, it's, in of itself, which probably took a couple years. It was just enough to reflect back on, even though I was still in high school, to say, yeah, I think I could do this. Sam was definitely the biggest influence of it, and I'm not being biased in any way just because it's my uncle. I mean, I really admire, his life story. And I mean, he was born and raised in Scotland, and his family was very poor, but he came to this country because his parents were saying, if you ever want an opportunity, you come to America. So he came to this country, was 19, so he was just high school, and then he just worked. To just rearrange your whole life to another country and then end up doing this, to me, that's just something, that's a heck of an example to follow. I don't know if I can ever live up to that, but that was my inspiration. My education, since I was paying for college mostly myself, it was more feasible for me to go to a Delaware Technical and Community College. So I started off just downtown here at the Wilmington campus, and I took hotel, restaurant, and institutional management, which I graduated magna cum laude in 2004. And that focused more on the business aspect of it. There was a lot more marketing classes and accounting classes and stuff. There was more of the logistical aspect of it, the business end. And I thought to do better with my job, since working that job in high school, it gave me a reason to choose that major, to go to college. I kind of wanted to know both ends of it. So I reapplied to Del Tech, and I did food service management as well as culinary arts. So I did a dual degree, and I graduated from 2008, also magna cum laude. I think the way it started off, I really wanted to be, hands deep in the culinary aspect of it, as far as being a chef. I did have a chef certification, or do, and then, but I would say more around the whole operation manager is more my duties now. It's hard to, take on all of it, but if you can find your niche and find the one that you like the best, and I think that you have a business right there. I think really just being able to take this opportunity, as early as I did, and it's taken me to, have my own cars, own my own home. I'm expanding the business, obviously. I'm going to have a second location. There's so many more question marks, still to come, like what's next, so. Limitless. You make network connections, and I've even thought of, the idea that we may have to get back into the wholesale end of it, selling to, grocery stores. I mean, there's upon tens of thousands of distribution points across just this country alone, that if we really want to get our product out there, it's something else to consider. So that's creating a whole new market. Like we have the 2 retail spots now, then maybe that could even go to future retail spots in other states. What avenue do you take and what's next? And it's just, the possibilities are endless, so I'll choose limitless. Lessons for future generations, I can only say if you're just in it for the money, you might be disappointed, and it's probably the wrong reason. I think if you can do something that you love, I think the happiness is the best point. And if you love it, you're going to be very, very good at it. And in time, I think the money will come to you. That'll follow. But doing what you're happy with, I think that's the most important thing. My dad was in the Army National Guard. My mom, she worked for the bank. She worked for Wilmington Trust. And they really, they devoted their lives to working hard, and it really wasn't so much anything that they have said to me specifically. They were both great examples. I just did my best. Never was out to hurt anyone, always wanted to help anybody. And whether it was in my, personally, in my field, I did my absolute best. You have my word.